Alright, I am super duper late, and I apologize for that. I got kinda stuck between bottling some of my next batch of something IRL, and then Bloodwing came home and had to take care of all that, and then I just got everything situated. So anyway, this is High Command, One Life PvP. As you can see, I'm very late for this scenario here. Normally we have a few moments to set up, but I completely lost track of time. Regardless, Blue 4 and Op 4 fighting in the zone. I literally just caught Sam, who is the Op 4 commander for High Command, going down as Blue 4 chose to assault from this area. However, we do have a contingency of Op 4 on the rear now assaulting. And Blue 4 seem to be in two different areas here. Oh, also, I'm completely wrong. I thought this was, I was told it was be Columbia today, but no, it's, it's not Isla Bramia, it's, that pre-firing by Seismo by Marco still got him with a few shots of that, M14 from the looks of things. And we just saw a double tap of some sort go on an Op 4 guy back there. This is one of those global ops terrains where, you know, you have Farabad, you have the Winter One Fjord. This is one of the ones tied to that. I just can't recall the name on the top of my head, but we've done some Pog ops around here, for example. No. Yes, okay. No, this is further away from the terminal site. We just I actually haven't been on this side of the AO yet. Interesting. Nonetheless, we do have Op 4 attempting to basically encircle a large Blue 4 element back here. Operations were to basically take the terminal site, as well as a second terminal site over on the far side, but from the looks of things, it's not really looking good for Blue 4 here. The fact that they're boxed in, yes, Op 4 only has a few guys, but the way that they're set up all around, it's a big Blue 4 group in the middle. You just have a few guys picking off who they can see on the outsides right here. It's not really looking good for this massive Blue 4 contingent. Meanwhile, Twins, who was in charge of the Blue 4 element, has gotten knocked unconscious. He does have a 2IC oddball. However, he is under fire from here. And then most of Op 4's defensive line holding around this terminal site right here. Looks like Blue 4 also has a Huey with them. And then a little bit of additional forces coming in from the south. But they're going to run into the massive Op 4 garrison here. So Op 4 did a really great job of encircling the Blue 4 element, or at least their main force, whereas a small contingent are still going to assault on. But I think Op 4's purpose right here is to eliminate who they can in this firefight, and then more than likely perish, because the numbers aren't on their side. But then whatever remains from here will then fight the main Op 4 force on the side. But you already see that Op 4, we do have a few guys kind of coming into here already on 2 kills themselves. It looks to be a Chinese member here, at least I think. Yeah, we see some double taps on these forces here. Some more shooting as now Blue 4 is trying to turn around. I think they were pinned down by that marksman. If Char's had a grenade, this would be a really great place to use it, but we can already see that, you know, this person's been in the middle of getting a lot of kills here. We see some double taps going on, a little bit of overexposure, and Maxit gets up and puts some double tapping shots down. But, I mean, we see that now the numbers are looking pretty even for that force. A big chunk of Blue 4 has gone down here. Twins back up, but it wasn't Twins commanding. Twins is just a machine gunner. It's Oddball who was in command. And I guess he just didn't see this coming. Char's waking up, trying to get Thomas, but Thomas double taps with that Mark 14. And then you just got more Op 4 coming in. Seismo with the kill. I'm going to be honest, getting thrown into this, I mean, I feel just as confused as the Blue 4 guys in the middle. Not seeing what the plan was here, but now they're just getting utterly cut down by Op 4. You got this, it's a PKM model for sure, but the slower fire rate, I think that might be the Polish version. Or that could just be another mod's version of the PKM, because it's giving that, God, it's a vanilla sound effect for, I think, the 7.62. But yeah, Blue 4 just getting sweeped up here with whoever remains. We got a few more guys on the northern side. Thomas and Maxic trying to pull back Maxic, however, taking marksman fire from MacMarine and his double tap. It's only Thomas that's still alive back here. We can see that the Blue 4 element over here is also getting encircled and now pounced by a much larger Op 4 element. I mean, Blue 4 is just getting systematically wiped here, and we're only 11 minutes in. With the 5 minutes of safe start, I mean, I came late, and it's already over. Thomas gets double tapped. And then you just have Blue 4 over here with 4 guys remaining up. 3, actually. No, 2. They've got 5 uncon at the moment. Well, we also technically still have the UH-1 in the air, but no, this is brutal. We see that mainly the reason for so many being down is because of that GL work by Chekhov 1 here. That's Audricep. I'm assuming it's based off of a secondary launcher. So he's got it out. I think he's going to fire a Huntai R now in the air. Going to access it. We see that little tracer line is going to disappear any moment now and then change. There it is. And then there's the Huntai R. And we just saw the UH-1 get shot down by an AT-4. Are you kidding me? That was by Jamera, who, I mean, he's an underdog in terms of AT usage. But he does get some pretty sick shots similar to Iander. I just wasn't expecting to see the frickin' helicopter go down like that. Now you just have, it's T and Tom's here, excuse me. Trying to hold. Gregory's coming down, double tapping a few bodies. Let's see if Tom's can get the kill here. He cannot. Gregory quick on his feet, immediately throwing a smoke. Then he gets knocked out. And double tapping shots by Tom's. Some more Blue 4. Actually, no. Just 1 waking up. That's Henry down here. It's got an MRCO on top of what appears to be some sort of 5.56 rifle. That might be 7.62, actually. Hard to tell. I've actually never seen that model before. But it's some sort of AR-style platform, that's for sure. But my god. The other guy just went dead. Tom's is the only one up back on the ridge, so it's just 2 Blue 4. And we're only 13 minutes in. This was an utter slaughter. Now you're seeing Op 4 starting to trickle back after they comb the region. Gerald now going high. Knows that he lost Gregory down here, so he's trying to look around along the ridges. This is where the other guy went down. So he knows that Blue 4 might be along this ridge. It's rare that I am late to a PvP event. But for me to be rare and then literally watch it get cleaned up immediately, that's a first for me. Now you just have Op 4 coming to loop around here. You still have Henry down there. I think Henry's going to be our last man standing. Bursty and Crazy, I think they're just slowly bleeding out at this point. Oh, no, if Henry starts engaging and giving himself away. Henry trying to fire up at Settler here. He smokes himself. We have a dead guy up here. I don't know if Settler is trying to work on him, but look at that sniper rifle he's got. That's an SU-260 scope on... Actually, no, that's a long-barreled... I think they're using the Chinese Bullpup QZ rifles, which is 5.8. We just saw Tom's get a second kill. Looks like that was additionally in his kill zone over here. I'm seeing multiple bodies now. But yeah, Op 4 knows there's something ahead. I'm not sure if they're going to call for assistance or if they're going to try to pull away. Meanwhile, Op 4, you have these guys running down here. There's a BTR just sitting here. I'm not sure if they can steal it, but I think that's the enemy spawn point at that point. Henry completely displacing back from that zone, and now he's trying to get along the ridge here. I think he's trying to get a flanking solution on Settler. You hear some other shots originating from back here. I'm not sure if that's on... That could be red on red. Could be anything. But yeah, no, Op 4 stolen that BTR-80. What a weird game. So it's up to Henry and Tom's here, and they're fighting about... 18 op 4, so that's a 1 to 9, which is doable, don't get me wrong, but I mean, in this position, they do have the game clock still favoring them. I mean, there's still a big chunk of time remaining in this round, but my god, I mean, compared to last week, these AOs are certainly a little smaller. I appreciate that, don't get me wrong, but Blue 4 is just outright curb stomped here, and I think Defraud is about to catch Toms. No, Toms, I think, just spotted something, but his rifle keeps bucking up. Audrey Sip doesn't notice him yet. Otherwise, they would have pushed and engaged him. There it is. It's amazing that Toms was actually able to get that hit. That's 7.62 by 51 versus 5.8. But also, the first thing to come over the ridge is Op 4's head, compared to Blue 4, which the head is over here. And again, this ridge is really going to favor Toms here, because it's going to be really hard to bounce grenades off. It's going to require a one-on-one direct engagement. We saw 2 hits on Toms, though. I think that was just the arms. He's definitely a little jittery now. And Toms pokes his head up and eventually gets cut down after getting hit a few times beforehand. And there's the double tapping shots. Defraud was coming up on his rear. I mean, it was over for Henry, whether he knew it or not. And then we've got... Okay, no. So this is Henry. That was Toms down there. Toms went down. Henry is now coming around on the rear here. He got spotted by the base Op 4 garrison on the road. And yeah, the mission command is wrong. It's because I didn't even have time to fix that, because I was trying to get started for this stream. And then I looked and immediately saw Op 4 command go down. And I'm like, what the hell? And I was trying to type out my mission command, but this round literally took, not including the 5 minutes of save start time, this was a 12-minute round. And we're literally down to Blue 4 at the last guy. I am just as, like, whiplashed as you. Henry's trying to move left and right here to bait out where Op 4 is firing from. I'm not sure if Henry knows he's the last guy up, but the beauty of being the last man up is anytime you hear gunfire, you know that might be a blue-on-blue situation. Slight hesitation from Henry there. You notice he did a friendly wiggle at first, so that might show that he doesn't know that he's the last guy up here, but then he pulls his gun out, mag dumps Gerald. I think that was a squad leader for this team, but this is a 1v, like, 16 at this point. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, no, 1v15. Tom's got a few more kills. But I'll get the commands changed, because I think the second round's also going to be different. So you got Henry trying to pick off the member of Gregory 1 right there, which is Nemesis. Oh, Scandy's down here. And then he's going to have 3 Op 4 trying to hone in on him from the side. I don't think it's going to... I'm really trying to see how he can do this. I mean, you still have the BTR that was stolen coming back. He still has to move to Terminal 1. Like... There's just so many obstacles in his way at this point, because it's a 1v15. He doesn't know that his rear is not secure. I don't see him occasionally checking his rear either. He's doing the smart thing of trying to keep mobile in this situation, though. He needs to make sure he keeps riding through defilade and utilizing cover to his advantage. But the longer he stays pinned, the more likely some of the Op 4 guys are going to be able to hone in on his rear. Now he's going uphill and he's exposing his back a little bit, which is really risky, because even if he's not killed here, if he's hit a few times, that's going to inflict some pain damage, that's going to inflict some bleed, that's going to slow him down to do medical and allow more time for the other Op 4 members in the region to hone in on him. Baku here is busy looting his squad leader, that's cute. Defraud on the northern side here might catch him, but Baku looks like he's coming up. You hear some more red on red. That might be some suppression. It's hard to say, but that captured BTR is now in the AO. Look at this little hiding spot, though. You can go prone in this. Really conceal yourself if you need to. It would really blend in well with the green on his backpack, but looks like he has successfully evaded the 3 Op 4 infantry right here, and he's going to be able to now move around the south. But, I mean, he's only delaying the inevitable. Still, we've got like 30 to 40 minutes left on the round, but, I mean, needing back and forth through the rear to try to shake off all the trackers that are on you is not a bad call. Vaku now combing around, gets caught by Henry in a 1v1 and knocked out. Double tapping shots by Henry. And he gets the kill. Honestly, this is the exact type of behavior Henry needs to be doing, just weaving back and forth, catching any trackers on his rear in 1v1s. He's going to be pulling a few people from the garrison to come up and join the tracker fights. But if he can just keep ambushing people one at a time, oh, look at that. Deflaw goes down, no hits on Henry. Henry's zoned in. That's the next kill. Henry now taking fire from the garrison, so he's going to pull away. But now it's a game of how many... Oops, Settler's going to come up the top. I think he spotted Henry. Henry also sees him. Henry trying to fire first. Settler ducks away, avoiding a potential headshot on his end. He's going to utilize his high ground to try to bounce grenades off, but the ridge here is in Henry's favor to catch the grenades so they don't roll down. But Settler is at a really bad advantage because if Henry opens fire, the only thing that's going to be exposed is Settler's face. Oh, we got some really great shots, though. They land on Henry's legs, but he's not crippled. Henry switching to his handgun. Opts against it last second. Oh, and he gets knocked out as Settler plays with the ridge terrain here and bobs up and down a little bit. And that's a double tap on Henry, and that's GG. Bursty is still technically alive, but he's been down for the entire game. That was... wow. Great play by Henry, don't get me wrong, but Settler is one of those players where if you get stuck on a 1v1 with him, he's very, very good. So he got really lucky that he found a piece of terrain to basically just bob himself up and down. Henry couldn't find the headshot he was looking for, and he was just able to mag dump Henry. I'm surprised Henry's legs didn't get crippled there, but Jamaron 6 kills. He also killed that Huey earlier with a rocket hit. Pretty impressive. All right, we'll see what we have for round 2. And we'll go ahead and put information up, polling up, and everything, and treat this properly as a debrief. It's Isla Para, that's it. God damn it. I couldn't remember that name for the life of me. Alright. This is round 2. And we'll see, it's I think between Sam and Oddball. Yeah, so that was mission 1. There was 2 terminals to hit. I think this is a different formula than the usual because it's also showing there's 3 missions. And then the 3rd mission has like 3 lives per play. Oh, interesting. Huh. I'm not sure how much I'll cover it, though, because I want to be out of here by about, like, 5 o'clock in an hour and 10, because I promised Bloodwind would go out for the pool today, because the tropical storm, I think Deborah is about to make landfall, so today's, like, the last nice day, and then it's going to be super rainy for the next 3 or 4 days. All right. Op 4 is attacking. This is starting to become a lot like FNF, from what I'm seeing. It's now on Corsac Winter. Interesting. And it's so... yeah, no, I think this is like a mid-season thing. Because they're going to then change it to something else. I don't know. But this is definitely not their standard form of, you know, they have 1-2 commanders and then switch off. This is definitely more free-formed, like I want to say Friday Night Fights. So it's Cats and Fawns. And it's going to be 2 terminal sites. Is commanded by Fawns. I want to look at the assets. Actually, no, the assets aren't listed in there. What am I doing? And Op4 has... Let's take a look, because this is all tied in their Discord. So it's a choice. Two Castros and a BRDM or a BTR-80. Though it was interesting to see in the first round they didn't even take the BTR-80. I do appreciate the choice of assets here. Cool. That third round. I mean, if this goes super quick, then we can also cover the third round too, but that's... Oh, that's funny. Alright, now that we have a thing going here, though, let me go ahead and throw a prediction up. Fawns on Op 4, Cats on Blue 4. And let me just make sure I get the faction notes right. It's Op 4 attacking. And then we can color code it too, because of how the default colors work on this. And we'll set that for 15 minutes, because it looks like there's a 10-minute safe start, and then we can jump on in. Also, Kit Jiro, I agree. I was kind of rooting for Henry. I always love seeing underdog plays. I mean, we have one of the greatest ones we've ever seen, the Adriano incident, where he went 23-0 as the last man standing. It was beautiful, but we're probably never going to see something like that again. There we go. Mission command is working. Let me change the map. It's Corsac Winter. All right. It looks like they're filling in everything. Alright. I'm gonna change... Actually, no, it's still a snow map. This music, in my opinion, goes well with snow, but, you know, also good for PvP. Otherwise... How are you all doing on this fine Tuesday? We did some mission dev earlier. We're doing this now. Some PvP commentary, and then later in the evening I'll come back and finish with some more mission dev. But we'll see how things go from there. Oddball is going to be... I mean, he was the commander of the previous round, but, I mean, that was... Blue 4, and they just got utterly surrounded and annihilated. So he's playing as Op 4 this time around. I don't see him in any leadership position. Nope, there he is. He's in Boyar 2 as the team lead. Alright. It's interesting to see that they're pretty much operating in 4-man teams. And they're not even evenly filling, but look at the aversion we have to leadership here. They'll take any role but the leadership position. So Fedin, for example, doesn't have leadership in that side. So we'll have to see eventually people go and take that, but we'll see how this goes. Looks like they're still getting their guys organized on that side as well. It's always the intermission time between these rounds, man. We just gotta wait and see how things go. Button on there. So it looks like, compared to how we see it normally in HK, they're not sticking with teams that we would normally see things get, you know, turned around with. So I think it's really just freeform, like Friday Night Fights, where it's just communities picking and choosing, because the previous two commanders were Sam and Oddball, but now it's going to be between Cats and Fawns. The usual way of how HK does stuff is you've got the same two commanders with the same two teams, and then they play the same exact mission file twice, and then they just, on the second one, switch sides. So this seems to be a lot more freeform, like FNF, where you just, you know, pick a commander and then pick the communities that go to which side, and then they're just doing it with the ability to also pick and choose assets as well, and the AOs definitely seem a lot smaller, which is why that previous round was only, if it was a 10-minute safe start time and it was only another 10 minutes of gameplay, because one side just got absolutely curb stomped. Cool. Hard to say, but regardless, Corsac Winter here. So we recently were in this AO, actually this exact AO we used for the zombie stuff. The Autumn incident, that's it. So the second AO was in this region, and the third AO covered all of this, and there was a defense of the airfield. This is a mess around game night. I didn't, but I kind of figured that out after watching a side get raffle stomped for 10 minutes, Goose. But then again, I generally don't ask. I just kind of show up. Normally, I have a bit more time to prep things, but I decided to basically do 6 gallons of mead starter and 6 different instruments and, you know, set some stuff up. And then Bloodwing came home, and then I had to scramble to get down here, and I didn't even get any time to set up. But no, this is definitely a mess around. That's what I was thinking earlier. I said it was probably like a between seasons style event. So we'll see how things go. So in the event OP4, I'm just saying for the sake of the predictions, in the event OP4 gets 1 terminal but can't get the second one, I'm going to say they tie. If OP4 gets completely curb stomped, they lose. If Blue 4 gets completely curb stomped, they lose, for the sake of the betting. And Razor, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of new cybersecurity things. Oh, we are so screwed. We are so screwed. But I'm definitely gonna get my kids into it when I have them, because that's how they're gonna rule the world. My God. Hey, Redo Kajiro, if you want, you can, if you have Discord, you can DM me on Discord. I can link you to all of the Arma 3 PvP communities out there that you can try. We've got, Friday Night Fights, OFCRA on Thursdays, TBD on monthly meetings, HK, which is seasonal. Then there's other communities I don't cover that often do stuff, like WOG, Coalition. There's a third one I'm thinking of. I can't remember the name of, but I was in one of their events recently and it was fine. But I can give you all that information, buddy. Or yeah, you can also go to Milsim units. But here's the thing, because they are officially a sponsor of mine. I do have an advert to play. I was gonna play after the next round. But Milsim Units is great if you're trying to, like, you know, find a community and you don't know where to look and you just kind of want to browse. If you're looking specifically at, like, a subcategory of things, then I can just give you a bunch of recommendations, because I've been doing Arma 3 since 2016. I know of, I think, almost every major Arma 3 community. And I'm going to be honest, in the ones that I participate in and the ones I've been in, it's only like 5 to 10%. I mean, even communities that I know hate my guts, I still recommend to people because, you know, it's... At the end of the day, it's all about fun playing a video game, right? Though I will admit, with Milsim units, we are going to be doing a pretty awesome Vietnam event next month. We're still ironing out the major details, but the reason I don't want to talk about it too is it was originally in my mind going to be like a public event, but now it might go more private because more communities might get involved. But it'll definitely be interesting. So we got that coming up, and then of course, you know, they want to do their 4-unit joint top thing in December. You know, similar to that 24-hour stream we did. So there's a lot in the works, and then of course my general day-to-day. But if you also want to do standard PvE stuff, you can either look at Milsim units or you can jump into my community because we do a lot of. I mean, tomorrow it's Black Templars versus Furries and Stargate. As two separate offs, I want to preface. And yeah, it's always good to get started with the tutorials and the campaign of Arma 3 to get used to the controls, but that's all the vanilla controls. Because when you feel comfortable with that, then you gotta get introduced to how Ace works and how I want to say like 96% of communities actually play. But if you get hit with it all at once, it's definitely overwhelming. I remember when I got my fiance into Arma, I gave her one job, which was just to get on my, we were in an MRAP with an M2, a 50 cal on top. And I just had her be the gunner, and I just drove her around and let her shoot stuff, because even that was overwhelming for her. And I was just trying my best to give call-outs and whatnot, but you really do have to take it slow, because compared to, you know, a game like Call of Duty, where you just come in, you just run around and shoot shit, yeah, Arma's a lot more, it's a lot more sandbox-esque. A lot bigger, and a lot more configurable controls. I mean, I have a, what is this, a Logitech MMO mouse. I love this thing. It's got 12 buttons where my thumb naturally lays, and I at least use, I want to say 9 of them are programmed, mainly for radio stuff alone. But it's crazy how modded you can make this game. And then the remaining buttons are usually tied to either if we're doing melee stuff with improved melee system, some of those buttons are for doing some maneuvers. If I'm flying around, one of them's a flare button, because I find it easier to just top off my flares there rather than hitting a key on my left hand. It's just, oh, this game's nuts. And I don't really stop and think about it until I'm confronted with questions like yours, and, or not questions per se, but statements. This game's crazy. I'm also surprised they haven't started yet. Looking to be a helicopter pilot, so I would definitely recommend you look into Milsim units then. Find a community operating in its period of warfare that we would like, you know, Vietnam, Cold War, US, Soviet, whatever you want. They're gonna have it there. But if you want to play that week to week, I would definitely look into there. Just my recommendation. Also, Yanni, how you doing? You know, it's funny. This is what I'm willing to bet. Between the time we've sat in this lobby waiting for this round to begin, the time they're gonna now spend doing their, like, safe start stuff, which I think is 10 minutes, I think that time combined is going to be longer than the actual amount of time they spend killing each other. I would be willing to bet. Especially since the last round just took only like 10 minutes, and that was with 10 minutes of save start. On top of, you know, 20 minutes of them setting everything up. And that sucks, because, you know, if these are quick, then I can cover more of them, but it's just all the setup time and the briefing time. I mean, it's simple. Just look at the map, push everyone through, and just go, yeah, alright, cool. You got 10 minutes. Make your plan and go. Because that's one of the beauties that, you know, Friday Night Fights has. Is that they're usually, unless they have like a crazy custom, you know, setup and the Zeus has to spend like, you know, 5 to 10 minutes explaining everything, they're usually set up to, you know, plug and play, ready to go, which is why they have that 15 minutes of save start, because that's all the time they need to get everything set in that portion. But, oh, here we're just waiting for them to parse everything through, I guess. I'm still in my late 20s, thankfully. But yeah, once I turn 30... I don't know. I don't normally listen to a lot of other content creators, but I remember back in the day, something that Jacksepticeye said about when he started turning 30, all the stuff that he used to be able to do when he was younger, he can't do anymore. And... I'm starting to feel it. I mean, I used to be able... I could body a 24-hour stream, no problem. I remember the first time I did it, you know, 3 years ago. I didn't even need an energy drink. I just had a cup of coffee and I was good, you know? But, I mean, that last one, what, we did it like a month ago? I needed at least an energy drink. I definitely had like a downside of, I think that was like the 6th and 7th mission, no, 5th and 6th mission file, because we only ran 7. And then it perked back up after Bloodwind gave me breakfast, which now I know, you know, I gotta eat in the middle of it, but now I know, you know, I can do a 24-hour, but it has to be with, you know, certain reservations. It's only gonna get worse. You know, a few more years and I'll be 30, it's gonna get a lot harder to do that. But anyway, we are on the round specific. God damn, that was more than 15 minutes, because I just realized the 15-minute timer I put for the polling's done. So they spent a big chunk of time. Ay. So now it's going to be 10 minutes to save start, and then them doing the round itself. I'm going to change my music real quick. I'm feeling something else in terms of just seeing that fog and that ambience. We'll see if it works. We'll see if it won't, but I have a feeling. I have a feeling. Just with the fog. We have a Chinese faction. And then across the way, we got the US faction. And this ominous fog. It feels almost horror-esque, if you know what I mean. Name of my group, just type !Discord. But if you really want to do helicopters and marksman stuff, I'm going to be honest. My group is more so, we just do whatever appears on the docket and whatnot. Like, I can't guarantee that I'll have what you're looking for, because we just do a massive mix of various things. But if you want to, like, be dedicated... That's a chicken. I was about to go, what the hell? But if you're looking for, like, flying, being a dedicated helicopter pilot or doing marksman stuff, that there might be other communities out there that are better tailored for you. But you can always try mine. I'm not going to say no, you know? But, you know, roles like that you might actually find better in a milsim, especially if you're new. There's a lot of milsims out there that are a lot friendly, very friendly to new players. Normally I'd recommend the 506, but they recently jumped ship and started playing exclusively in Arma Reforger, which I don't agree with at all, but that's because I'm an Arma 3 nut. So, again, you might spend like a whole month of August actually looking around in communities that you want to play in, and that's totally fine. It definitely takes you a month or two to find where you belong, but once you find a place to play in Arma 3, you're going to be playing there for a long while. Usually until some drama bullshit pushes you out, and then you'll find another place, and then, you know, the cycle might repeat, or it might not. But hey. up to you. Anyway, let's go ahead and cover this round here. So, Blue 4 have 2 terminal sites to defend. Op 4 have 2 terminal sites to defend in this winter foggy shenanigans here. Looks like Blue 4 has opted to take 2 M2 Humvees. And Op 4 has opted to take a BTR 80. All right. Looking at the roster here, we got Katz and Iander as leadership in 2IC. Alpha 1 has Cullis and Nemesis. Bravo 2 has Django, Mark, and Misano. Charlie 1 has Gerald Adrisip, who is already unconscious. I think he tripped on a fence and knocked himself out. That is pretty funny. Otherwise, Watchjack, Derfall, Settler, and Cheeseburger. Delta 1 has Wiki Quartz, Templar, Thomas, and Slodvek. Delta 2 has Max Sick, Rambo Bambo, Rocket 19, and Giovanni. Golf 1 has Kabubi Face and Grishowski. Gregory and Vaku are in Hotel 1, and then Bravo 1, I don't know why it's all the way down here now, just has Rizbo. Meanwhile, Fawn's leading Op 4, Henry with Alpha 1 leading with Crazy Tom, Sancho, and Bursty. Boyer 2 has Oddball, Twig King, Watts, Depso, Rodrigan Twins. Right off the bat, though, I'm coming up here because we already potentially have some contacts. So Lewis and Azazel are in Chekhov 1. Tima has Sam, Rodrig, where'd I pull Rodrig out of there? Jesus. Sam, Jamera, Mac Marine, Seismo, and Alexander are in Dima 1. Samuel and Orn in Elna 2. That's kind of funny that Blue 4 just pulled right up to that position. We have a grenade going wide. That's going to get a multi-kill here. Yeah, that is literally the rest of that Blue 4 Garrison group taken out. Wow. But Eric, Hiru, Bangs, Ash, and Tackle Bear all together. AT just went on RPG taking out that Humvee. And then Goose and T together. But that is a Blue 4 group wipe. That was Blue 4 Command just dead. And their second vehicle that just came up also dead. And now they're getting massacred. So that is all of... Wow. All of Scandi wiped immediately. Django also wipes. That's both of their special assets as well. That is incredible. So now Blue 4 doesn't have command. They've lost all of Bravo 2. Like, that's at least 20% of their player base just dead. Of course it's freaking Scandi. And not a single casualty on Op 4 to show for it. My God. So otherwise, Op 4, they're going to be pushing along. They're going to get Terminal Site 2 for free. Blue 4 just holding on Terminal 1. We've got a big chunk of Op 4 infantry coming around. I wouldn't say it's a guaranteed Op 4 victory because of that, because it's Blue 4 defending. And when you lose your commander on a defense, you generally don't need a commander to coordinate things compared to a commander on offense, which will need to, coordinate his attacking moves. A little worried because we do see some of the Op 4 force here that engage that is going to be out of position now, but at the same time, it looks like it was an even number of forces in this fight down here. Still impressive that Op 4 didn't take a single casualty out of that, but now it's just going to be an attrition fight on an even amount of numbers, though the attackers generally need a number advantage to attack a defensive position because of how attrition works. But yeah, definitely leaning into Op 4's side of things to win this fight, so I wouldn't say it's a guarantee. We've seen plenty of times in OFC Array, for example, where one group gets utterly annihilated in the beginning, but they still bounce back. So we could still see something like that there, but who knows at this point. That was kind of funny to witness that. But, I mean, again, the fog. That vehicle literally pulled up. No one noticed the truck as it stopped right here. They started dismounting. I don't know what it is with this fog, man, but horror vibes. That's Scandi, too, which usually plays a lot better. But Op 4, meanwhile, we're definitely seeing a Chinese-based force here. So we've got the QZ Bullpup, their version of the Marksman Rifle, and then RPGs. And then, so it's their version of the PKM, which is why I was struggling to identify it, because it's not a Russian-based one. It's a carbon copy, but in this case, it's a Chinese one. And then they've got, some general transport here. Blue 4, meanwhile, are Delta Force USA, so that's why they've got these crazy tricked out 5.56 platforms. They've got mini-me's from the looks of things, and then Mark 11s and AT4s. So now we're just going to have a bit of a lull here as Op 4 pretty much position themselves on the second terminal site here. If you remember from watching my Autumn War operation. You know, we got a graveyard up here, and then we just have a lot of suburbia back here. Looks like Blue 4 have spent a big chunk of time fortifying the site, though. We see a lot of explosive charges, and we see some claymores in place. All around. I'm not sure if those claymores will detonate the explosive charges on their own. Those will have to be manually hit. But having a triggerman over here, for example, to watch Op4 go in and click off a clacker, that's a guaranteed kill. The question is, will a triggerman just wait for, you know, the opportunity to do that in the heat of battle? I can understand if there's a triggerman maybe on this objective where they just, you know, let Op4 in, he can get some free kills off of that. But when you're in the middle of a fight right here, then, you know, it might be more urgent for you to go to the front line and potentially get shot and then lose that ability rather than, you know, just sit there the entire game. So Audrysip, I guess, was trying to climb around this church and, well, God didn't really appreciate that and knocked him down. That is a crying shame. Once again, the fog takes another victim. God damn it. And I think this is Depso, who's our game master tonight. I'm not sure what they're yelling about, but maybe it's because Audrysip's up there, so they're trying to get him down. But Op4 is coming. And I'm hitting page up and page down to try to edit my fog settings. It's not budging. These are permanent, guys. This is the render range, and I'm gonna be honest, I love it. We normally only see this shit exclusive to be like, you know, horror stuff and whatnot, but it really creates a really eerie atmosphere to do general PvP on. But it also forces CQC, which some players are really, really good at, and some are not. But I'm going to be honest, if you're not good at CQC, here's what I recommend you do. Grenades. Learn how to throw a grenade really well, and you will be just as good at CQC as anyone else. Because if you kill them, you get your grenades back, and then some, potentially. If you kill more than one, you get double the grenades, and you just repeat the cycle. Rags to riches. Don't even have to expose yourself. Just chuck a grenade. Learn how to time the grenade. Learn how to get the grenade in certain little areas like this. And then pre-fire your corners, and then you're good. Part of me wants to say these are honey badgers, but I know that's wrong. I could totally see Delta Force with honey badgers firing subsonic, just messing around with 300 blackout. The music does hit with this fog, though, goddamn. So Op4 slowly coming around this other terminal site. We're basically going to have another 5 minutes of Op4 kind of dipping their toe in the water here. However, one of the interesting things for Op4 here is they're going to basically get into partial bits of suburbia here, and then they're going to basically be able to get on the outskirt sides and start folding in. Blue 4, if they had a bit more forces, could have really capitalized on this open area in the middle to catch some Op4 out of position, and then holding the open areas up here through the church, which I think they've tried to do, but this position is now a bit unsupported. Looks like they eventually did get him down, or Audrysip woke back up. Like, I really love this marksman position here. So there's the hack now for Boyar too, so they'll just basically be able to pull up the MSR and reinforce this Op4 position coming in. But now we see Blue 4, I think, transitioning some forces around here because that hack might have woken them up, but basically utilizing this open area here to lock things down is great, but I'm a little worried about Blue 4's positioning out here. But Op4 can literally just take the little graveyard position with the church, pop some smokes, utilize the tree cover here, get right into these buildings and little suburbia here, and then just immediately engage in CQC. And when you run into big buildings like these, all you need are... Wow, Audrysip immediately gets sniped because he was on the open hillside. He slides off and then falls off and dies. The double tap was gravity. That is really unfortunate. I don't even know why he was dicking around on the open side, knowing that Op4 is probably coming from that side since they just got a notification that that was being hacked. These guys, meanwhile, running on foot. And there's the hack finishing. But wow. Not a good time to dick around. So now we have Chinese Special Forces coming in on the graveyard site here. But as I was saying, you just need some explosive specialists in Op4 to basically have some satchels and then just toss the satchel on the building and then run, and then you'll take out the entire building. There's only like 1 or 2 buildings in Arma 3, and I think they're from Vanilla, where that won't work. And then Watchjack here, I think, took fire. He's about to get pre-fired around the corner. Oh, this is sad. Bro wasn't even looking at him. He was just bandaging in the corner. Ah, you nunny. They pretty much ganked him. Yeah. I don't even know what caused him to have that many wounds. Like, did he arm on something? But my God, look at his legs. Oh. He was just a boy.
Send in
Drunk Fire Bear, thanks for the 33 month resub. Hope you can join the operations and hope you get a nice kick out of this little scenario. So I'm going to be honest, Blue 4 setting up these bunkers and these hard points in such thick CQC, I mean, it's not going to do much. Because you're literally putting yourself within grenade range. And then they just need to chuck a grenade or two or even an explosive charge into that building. Or in that hard point. And while that position won't collapse in itself, the explosion inside will kill anyone. But look at this. Now you've got Op4, that group that took the other terminal, now going on the rear guard here. A few guys on the rear just sweeping for any Blue 4 that might try to envelop them. Now you've got Op4 in the front line position here. These guys might try to open up a new flank on the south. I mean, I think Blue 4's screwed from this formation play. But again, it's going to just rely on the CQC at the end of the day. So you got some really nice Overwatch positions here. They start opening up, but Op4, we see no bodies caught. They're really hugging these walls, immediately returning fire on those high story positions. You can hear their footsteps outside too, but the operators here aren't taking the moments to listen. They're too zoned in on what's going on in front of them. That's what the real horror is going to be, is there's no backline defense here to watch for anyone coming in. And this is what I'm talking about. That's the explosive charge in. Templar in there is dead. And that is literally what Op4 is going to do. They're just going to put a satchel in the building if there's a garrison in it and then move on. And it's going to cause significant casualties on Blue 4's side. Because, whatchamacallit, I can't even remember who threw that. I'm going to be honest because they did it so quickly. You have 2 explosive satchels, or 4 explosive charges. So that was a satchel. Satchel will always take out the house, but you still have a second one. And if you're lucky, the garrison inside also had explosives that you can then loot. But yeah, they're going to run up and potentially do that to this building as well. They can even get it outside of the building and still take out the building, so they don't have to get inside like that. I got some blind suppression. These guys kind of giving themselves away, but you can see that Op4 is now surrounding this area. Second explosive satchel was thrown on this building. So that was by Gregory 2 here, so that was Goose. That one was a bit more of a waste, but at least they're clearing out the area here. So the terminal, we see that there's a big defensive around here itself, but we'll probably see some more explosives thrown in on that area as well. See some frontline positions getting hit here. It was one of the high tap guys there, but this is also pinning all of the northern defense with fighting from the outskirts as a big chunk of infantry is now going to sneak in from the south. The question is, can they hold? And when I say they, in this case, I mean the internal Blue 4 defense here. Can they hold from that southern group advancing? We even see AT being fired into these buildings, so Op4 really just trying to immediately push in here. I'm going to be honest, that BTR-80, I don't think it's going to be... Well, no, they might find an angle to use it from the ridge right here and then just start suppressing any positions if these guys go high, but that'll lock down the street. They might also be able to find an angle on the rooftops, but that's a little less likely. so Rizbo's found a really good position with his 249, or excuse me, Mini-Me. He gets a kill and a knockout on some of these Op4. Really good defensive angle he's on, though. He is potentially prone to being flanked by Twig King here, but he's busy taking out all the marksmen and people on the rooftops up here. Look at that. Rizbo's basically able to stay here, take grenade fire, and not really worry about it. And funny enough, now you got Twig King going down because the VTR is suppressing through that barn, and those rounds can kill him. So we just saw some more fire coming out. Twig King on his 4th kill. I think he was killing someone, yep, on the defensive position there itself. He comes out, gets into a 1v1 with Rizbo, and actually beats him out. And he is still up, but he is hurt. And I think that was an explosive trap by Blue 4. That was Gregory potentially cooking that one off, because he is labeled as an engineer. And that has stopped Twig's reign. But 5 kills already, I mean, that's pretty significant. Looking at the map-wise, I mean, Op4 outnumbers Blue 4 significantly at this point. So I appreciate those explosive traps, definitely were usable, but now we're at the point where Blue 4 doesn't really have that much of themselves left. And now you got Fawn's Op4 lead coming in. Another member of Op4 trying to get into the building, he's immediately taken out. That shooter's knocked out. I mean, Fonz just needs to tap the terminal and run at this point. Because as soon as we see a notification, we're going to see these charges go off if they still are wired. And I think at this point, Fonz needs to make a decision. He double taps that body. But yeah, seeing the explosives right here, he just needs to run in, tap that, and then immediately run back and get behind cover. I would put myself either in that little bunker or where that body is after I touch the terminal. He's going to go for clearing instead as more Op4 come in. Well, having more Op4 come in increases the likelihood that there's going to be more casualties to this planted bomb. And there's still some angles that Blue 4 is shooting from. I'm really surprised they're not touching this. Now the BTR is driving right in. Come on, someone tap the terminal. Samuel's gonna do it. There it is. There it is, yep. That managed to get everybody, and I'm assuming Gregory's the triggerman. He's on 3 kills now. He still has a BTR to contend with, though. And you got a Grenadier back here also dropping stuff. Geralt with the machine gun on Overwatch. I don't think it's enough, though. We had Op4 just run in here and get an additional kill. He did it from the windows back here. That was Depso. He's now trying to get over. He's going to get on top of the roof now. Hack is still going. All this smoke's going out. It's going to be up to Gregory to run out and potentially get the terminal, but he immediately gets killed by Depso. And now it's up to this machine gunner to come in with the Mini-Me. It's Geralt. BTR is looking around. BTR can't turn in time. He's going to stop the hack. And then the BTR immediately hits him. Hold up, someone from the air. It's Depso. Depso Spider-Man jumps his ass. He's going right back for the terminal site. All right, I did not have Depso as Spider-Man on my bingo card for PvP today, but pretty sure that's GG. The only Blue 4 guy remaining alive is Grishowski. Anyway, can Grishowski channel his inner Audrey Hotto and win? I was expecting him to die right there, but can Grishowski channel his inner Audrey Hotto and win this fight because he has less than a minute to do so? In fact, 30 seconds. In what is this? A 1v, what, 3, 6, 9? Yeah, 1v. Oh, there's 3 up there. 1v13. Where'd he go? Oh, he's over here. Doesn't seem to be rushing the objective. 15 seconds left. I think that's it. And anyway, it's about 4:31. I don't think I'm going to cover that third and final round, but hey. I wish luck to all the players that do play it. And, yep, he is taken out by Sancho. There it is. All right, that's a solid OPFOR victory. We'll be back later doing some mission dev streaming. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one. Spooky weather.